Afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to all. I have unmuted all of you. So today we are going to learn the chapter The Adventures of Toto. This is the second chapter of Movement and it has been written by Ruskin Bond. You have already learned the story of Ruskin Bond in the previous class. Is my voice audible to everyone? Please reply. Okay. Good. So let us recap what happened in the class. So today we came to know in the chapter The Adventures of Toto. Toto is a monkey that has been bought by the narrator's grandfather from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. How much grandfather paid? Only 5 rupees. And then he purchased the monkey Toto. As we have already discussed, the Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough. Means he was not paying proper care, and the monkey was most of the time the monkey was tied with the feeding trough. That is why the grandfather, who was an animal lover, wanted to purchase the monkey and to have him in the private zoo. Grandfather is an animal lover, so in his house he has set up a private zoo in which some animals have been kept by him. Which type of animals he has, we will see in the story. So here he decides to purchase the monkey and to give him a good life or better life. And that is why he purchased from the Tonga driver. As you can see on the screen, the Tonga driver has the monkey on his shoulder and grandfather is talking to him. Actually, he is purchasing. He is paying him 5 rupees for the monkey. As we know, Toto was a pretty monkey and his bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep set eyebrows. His eyes are bright, but there is mischief behind the brightness. Means the monkey is mischievous. His teeth, which are purely white, he has very white teeth. Purely means you know pearl. So purely white. The word pure has been used here as an adjective. Means he has very white teeth. And as far as his smile is concerned, so that is frightening. And the elderly Anglo-Indian ladies who pass from there, when they see the smile of the monkey, they feel frightness. However, the monkey was not being paid proper care, and that is why his hands have dried up under the sun. Anyhow, this monkey has a tail also, which helps the monkey to have the balance, as well as many a time he uses the tail just like his third hand. He has already two hands, but the tail of the monkey can be used by him as a third hand also. Whenever especially he hangs from a branch, that time you must have noticed these monkeys use their tail to hang from the branch of the trees. This is common phenomena you can see in all the monkeys. Grandmother does not want to have any type of animals in her house. One side we come to know that grandfather is an animal lover, and that is why because of his passion he has set up a private zoo in which he has some animals. On the other hand, we find that grandmother does not like such type of things. Have she does not want to have any type of animals in her home. Grandfather has already kept some bird or animals. So the grandfather is thinking what the grandmother would think, or what, how the grandmother would behave when she would come to know that one more animal have been added. One more animal has been added. That is the monkey Toto, as you know very well. So the grandfather decided that the Toto's presence should be kept secret from the grandmother. How long? How long it can be kept secretly? So unless and until when she was not in particularly good mood. So here the narrator and the grandfather both are waiting for the good mood of the grandmother, because they think that when the grandmother would be in good mood, that time it can be told to her and she would easily accept it. But in normal situations she would not allow any more animal in her house. So it was decided, and this is the reason that grandfather and the narrator put the little monkey in a little closet that was in the bedroom of the narrator, and there he was tied securely. And there was a peg also, on which to which it was fastened into the wall. A few hours later, when grandfather and the narrator came back to release Toto, because they thought that the monkey had been fastened there for a long time, so it must be released. But when they returned to release the monkey, they found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper that was brought by grandfather, now it was standing naked. Naked means the plaster had come out of the wall. The brick was looking there, and the peg that was in the wall had been raised from its socket. Means the peg was also destroyed. And the most shocking thing is here, that there in the room where the monkey was kept, the narrator had his school blazer that was in shreds. Shreds means the monkey had destroyed the blazer into different pieces. The narrator was very sad because his blazer was totally destroyed, and he thought that the monkey was very, very mischievous, more than as they were thinking. But here one thing is very interesting. Grandfather was not worried, not a little bit worried for the monkey. Rather than being worried, he was happy that the monkey was intelligent and clever also. Let us know the opinion of the grandfather. What does the grandfather think about the monkey? According to grandfather, according to the grandfather, the monkey was a very clever creature. How and why? So he is giving his logic that monkey wanted to go out of house. That is why he cut the blazers into different pieces, and after cutting into different pieces he made it a rope, and with the help of that rope he came out of the house. How? He hung the rope through the window, and with the help of that it came out. So here the grandfather observing the cleverness of, or the intelligence of the monkey. So according to him, the monkey is very clever and intelligent. He has showed his intelligence here by using the threads of blazers like a rope, which helped him come out of the house. So actually we can say grandfather is an animal lover. To whom you love, whom you like, you always try to appreciate him or her. Even in the demerits of such persons, you try to search some merits. So grandfather is also doing the same thing. Anyhow, let us see what happens thereafter. As we know, his presence is in the house is still a secret. Means it has been hidden. To whom? From the grandmother. Now the grandfather decided to transfer Toto into a big case in the servants' quarter, where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. So there is a servant quarter in which grandfather has kept some pets whom he like. Which type of pets he have? Let us see. So he has a pair of rabbits, a tortoise, a squirrel, and a goat also. All these are pet animals, and these pet animals have been living together for a long time. So they are very sociable also. Sociable means they live lovingly and they don't disturb anyone. But the monkey would not allow any of his companions to sleep at night. But accidentally, when there was the enter of the monkey in this family, the family was totally restless because the monkey was very mischievous and he was social not at all. On the other hand, all the animals are very social. They live lovingly with one another. But this mischievous monkey came and shattered their life into different pieces. At night, when they were relaxing, they were trying to sleep. He started disturbing everyone. So, grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun, actually, grandfather lives in Dehradun, but he is a retired person, and to collect his pension, he has to go to Saharanpur. And as the mischievous monkey is performing, grandfather realized that he can't be left alone here. Of course, he would disturb all the other animals. So he decided to take him along. Means where? To Saharanpur. So all these things we have already discussed in classroom. Now we will proceed. Is it clear to everyone till here? Please reply to me. Students of 9B also, I am asking you people to. Okay. So till here we have already discussed in classroom. Now we will proceed. Now the narrator says that if he feels that he was very unfortunate. Why? Because of some work he could not accompany grandfather on that trip. When grandfather was going to Saharanpur, that time the narrator was not with him, and he says that he was very unfortunate. Why? Because some incidents happened over there which he did not want to miss. So he wanted to be there, but unfortunately he was not with the grandfather on that trip. But the grandfather told him what happened there. And when he came to know, he realized that he missed the opportunity to see the incidents. Let us see what happens. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. So, as you know, Toto is an animal and he cannot travel like human beings. So, a big black canvas kit bag was brought for the monkey in which he would be settled with some straw, that is called ghas at the bottom, and became his new abode. Abode means his place, his house, whatever you can see, a living place. And when the bag was closed, there was no escape. Means bag was just like that. When it was locked, monkey could not come out. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. Monkey has very sharp teeth, and with the help of that it can bite anything. But this black big canvas is too strong to be beaten by the monkey cannot bite it. He kept on continuing his effort, but he was not successful. As we know, he is a mischievous monkey, so he was doing all his effort, but he was not successful. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air. So when the monkey came to know that in spite of lots of efforts, it could neither bite the bag and nor it could come out of the bag. So he started to jump. He tried to jump to come out of the bag, but it was properly locked, it was properly chained. That is why the monkey could not come out, but the bag started to jump on the floor because monkey is jumping in that. The people who were present over there, they could not know what was lying in the bag. So it was wonderful for them. They were surprised to see why a bag was jumping on the floor itself. It was just an exhibition for the crowd, and it attracted the curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. And this incident was happening in Dehradun railway platform, where the bag was put and monkey started to jump in order to come out. The monkey could not come out, but the bag started jumping on the floor. And the onlookers who were present over there, they kept on watching this incidents. However, so this is the incidents of Dehradun, but we know the grandfather was going to Saharanpur. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. As you know, if the chain of the bag is every time properly closed, the monkey would of course die because of the lack of oxygen. So chain was a little bit opened for passing the oxygen in order to save the life of the monkey. In the train, the monkey was sitting quietly in the bag, but when the grandfather reached Saharanpur railway station, so there the ticket demanded his ticket, and grandfather was showing him his ticket, producing his ticket at the railway turnstile. At the same time, Toto poked his head out of the bag. Means Toto brought his head out of bag. बैग से उसने अपना चेहरा बाहर निकाला and gave his furious smile. The ticket collector saw what is that. He was really afraid to see the wide scream of the monkey. But with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you." Actually, Toto poked his head out and very suddenly he came down. So the ticket collector could not see him properly. What was that? And he realized that it would be a dog. So he told the grandfather that he had a dog with him, so he has to pay fine for it accordingly. It was not allowed any passenger to have a dog with him in the train, but the grandfather was caught according to the ticket collector having a dog, so he has to pay fine. In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. But the grandfather was trying to convince the ticket collector that whom the ticket collector was understanding a dog, actually that is a monkey, not a dog. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. But the ticket collector was not ready to listen to him, and he was saying that he has to pay fine 3 rupees, otherwise he would be sent to the jail. At last the grandfather had to pay him 3 rupees. That was the fare of Toto, and here Toto has been proved a dog also. Then grandfather, just to get his own bag, took from his pocket out paid Trot twice. The grandfather became angry to see the behavior of the ticket collector, and because of his anger, he brought out a tortoise which he had in his pocket and asked the ticket collector, "What must I pay for this since you charge for all animals?" Means here grandfather is expressing his anger that the ticket collector was charging for animals. So this is a tortoise, and for this he should be paid some charge also. The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise and prodded it with his forefinger. Means he touched with his finger the tortoise, and grandfather a pleased and triumphant look and said, "No charge. It is not a dog." He said that there would not be any charge for this creature because it is not a dog. So in this way, the grandfather became angry and he expressed his anger by showing the tortoise, but the ticket collector did not charge any money for the tortoise because he wanted to say that he would be charging only for dog, not for any other animal. Is it clear to everyone? Some sound is coming from your side, so please mute yourself. When you want to say something, you can unmute. So in this way, Toto visited Saharanpur and returned with grandfather. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable. How long they would hide this matter that Toto was present there? So at last, when the grandmother was in a good mood, that time this matter was exposed before her, and anyhow, either happily or sadly, Toto was accepted by grandmother also. So now it is not a secret. And then Toto was given a comfortable home in the stable. Stable means you know very well, a stable, where he had for a companion the family donkey, where a donkey was already living there. And the name of this donkey is Nana. Nana is the name of the donkey. On Toto's first sight in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if, he was comfortable. Now grandfather was thinking if Toto was living there happily or if there was any problem with him. So the first night he went to visit Toto and Nana, how they were living there. But when the grandfather reached there, for his surprise, he found Nana, who was without a parent cause, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from the bundle of hay. First of all, you tell me, do you know the meaning of halter? Halter. Halter means लगाम. घोड़े की जो लगाम होती है ना, that is called halter. So when he reached there, he found that the donkey Nana was trying to keep his head away from the bundle of the hay, and he was putting his force over there. It seemed that someone was just trying to push the donkey, trying to uh, snatch the donkey from another side, but the donkey was pushing itself from the different direction. ऐसा लग रहा है कि डंकी को कोई खींच रहा है अपनी तरफ से, और डंकी जो है कोई खींच रहा हो उसको बंडल ऑफ हे यानी घास फूस जो चारा होता है वहां पे खींच रहा हो, और वो अपने आप को उससे हटाने की कोशिश कर रहा हो. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches. Haunches means backside. So when grandfather saw it, he gave a slap on the donkey's haunches, and she jerked back. After being slapped, the donkey jerked back and dragging Toto with her. और जब वो जर्क हुई वो डंकी, तब ग्रैंडफादर ने देखा कि एक्चुअली टोटो हैड caught the ear of the donkey with his sharp teeth, and that is why the donkey was trying to escape from the biting of the monkey. And the monkey, the mischievous monkey, you know very well, it had caught with the teeth very very bitterly to the donkey. That is why the donkey was in a big problem. He had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. So again he is showing his mischief with the innocent donkey. So these are some mischievous activities which have been explained in the story. Toto and Nana never became friends. Such type of enmity has been developed between both of these two animals and they never became friends. According to narrator, this information has been imparted here that these two animals never became friends. Is it clear to everyone till here? Okay. Yes. Haunches, I told you backside. Backside of the donkey. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches. Haunches means the backside of the donkey. Clear? Hmm. Okay, let us see. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. So, when you have a pet in your home, that time these pets become one of the members of your family and you pay full care to these animals because they are not animals for you. They are one of the members of your family. So the same thing was with the monkey Toto also. He was also being treated by the family of grandfather just as one of the members of the family. So in cold winter, no one wants to take bath with cold water. And not only animals, not only human beings, animals also feel cold. That is why the grandmother used to give warm water in a large bowl to the monkey for the bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen him doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. So, when a large bowl was kept there in which warm water was filled, so it has been described here how this mischievous monkey comes into the water. Actually, he has seen the narrator, what he does when he takes bath. So this is the habit of the narrator. When he comes in bathtub, so first of all, he puts his one foot, then other, and slowly and gradually he sits in the bathtub to his neck. So he is copying here the narrator because he has seen him so many times. So when the large ball is kept before the monkey to take bath, that time very cunningly first of all he tests the temperature with his hand. Temperature of water means it is warm or it is hot. Do you understand the difference between warm and hot? I am waiting for your reply. Do you understand the difference between warm and hot? Are you listening to me or everyone is sleeping there? If you know, say yes. If you don't know, say no, sir. No, sir. It's okay. Warm means that is pleasant, and hot that may be unpleasant also. Okay. If we say that it is hot, so that may be unpleasant, more than which we can tolerate. But when we say it is warm water, it means our body can tolerate it. It will not burn our body. This is the difference. So very cunningly, this monkey tastes the temperature of the warm water with the help of his hand in order to realize the water is warm or it is too hot. And thereafter, as he has already observed the narrator and he follows the same thing. So he is copying here. He put his first one foot into the ball, then the other one, and thereafter he sits and up to his neck and then he takes bath. Once, when he is comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. So he has seen doing all these things to the narrator, and that is why he is applying. But when the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire. But when he would be bathing for a long time, so slowly and gradually the warm water turns into cold water. And this is winter season. So when the water turns cold, he just runs away from there and enters the kitchen to have the warmth of kitchen fire and to dry himself. And while doing it, when he noticed that someone was laughing to see him, that time he becomes very angry. That time Toto's feeling would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his work. If someone laughed at him while he was doing this activity, then he would be angry. And for 2 or 3 days, next 2 or 3 days, he would not go for his work. It is the way of showing his anger. Means if you have laughed at me, then I would not go to have bath. So 2 or 3 days he would not go to take bath because someone has laughed at him. And here his feelings had been hurt. One day Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. एक दिन की बात है कि he was almost about to boil himself alive. What happened? So a large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. One day in the kitchen, a large kettle, large means बहुत बड़ा kettle, had been left on the fire to boil for tea. And Toto, who was not aware what was going on there, he just removed the lid. Lid, you know very well, LID, lid. Lid means what? Lid means cover, dhakkan. So he removed the lid and finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle. And when he realized that the temperature of water is very good, or maybe that time he wanted to have bath, so he sat in that kettle. Once again, I would like to make you understand that this is not a small kettle; it is very big, and that is why this little monkey can sit over there. And he did not understand that the kettle was put on the fire. That time the temperature was warm, but slowly and gradually, as the fire was burning, you can understand the water would also be boiling after some time. But monkey did not notice it, and he sat in that kettle. This was just fine for a while. थोड़ी देर के लिए तो बहुत अच्छा लगा. Until the water began to boil. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. See the situation. That time it was too cold outside. So when he was in the water of kettle, he was feeling some relaxation. And when the water was boiling, he realized that it is too hot now. So he just came a little bit out, but the weather of outside was too cold. So again he sat in that. And now he is doing or repeating the same thing. He raised himself, again he sat down. He raised himself, again he sat down. And here the temperature of water is increasing more and more. Are you getting what I want to make you understand? समझ रहे हैं आप? Is it being clear to everyone? Hmm. Actually, the water was warm in the beginning, but as it was put on the fire, so slowly and gradually the temperature of water would be increasing, but the monkey was ignorant about that. In the beginning he realized much better, and when he felt that it is not giving him relaxation, it was too hot, so he raised his body out But when he raised his body out of the kettle, he found that the outer weather was too cold. And again he sat down. When he again felt that it was out of cannot be tolerated, then he raised his body once again. And when he raised his body, he came to know that the outer weather is too cold. Again he sat down. So in this way, this process was going on. Anyhow, he continued hopping up and down for some time until the grandmother arrived and hauled him half wild out of the kettle. But he was lucky guy that day because the grandmother reached there on time and found that this stupid monkey would be boiling himself. So she brought the monkey out of the kettle. If that day the grandmother had not reached there, of course the monkey would have boiled himself in the kettle. I think it is clear till here.